Everybody. Today I'm going to be reviewing Mission Command C. This game came out in 2003 from Milton Bradley / Hasbro, and it is for 2 players. Now, Mission Command C used to be known as Carrier Strike, and this is the third in a series of games that Milton Bradley / Hasbro made. They made air and they made land, and this is the third one. Object of this game is you are trying to either destroy your opponent's carrier, or you're going to try to destroy everything else except his carrier. You're going to be using planes, you're going to be using destroyers, you're going to be using harpoon missiles, you're going to be using sidewinder missiles. There's a lot that goes on with this game, and I think out of all 3 of the games, this is one is my favorite. So let's show you how it works. Okay, everybody, as always, I'm going to go ahead and show you the components really quick. First thing you have here are your carriers, and this is what you're going to be defending at all costs. If you lose your carrier, you're going to lose the game. And if this thing gets hit twice, then the carrier is going to be destroyed. Right here you have your destroyers. Destroyers are used to protect the carrier, and this thing can pretty much destroy anything. A destroyer will be eliminated if you hit him with 1 torpedo. Right here you have what are called your shallows or your islands. The main purpose of these things is also to protect the carrier because planes cannot fly over them. This can also help defend against battleships, since battleships cannot be adjacent to these islands. Here, each player is going to be receiving 4 dice, and you're going to be using this for various purposes. Right here you have your squadron of airplanes, fighter planes, and each plane has a number under it, like a 4, and the numbers range from 1 to 4. And basically what the numbers represent is if you are dogfighting with another plane, that is going to tell you how many dice you're going to be able to roll, and you're trying to get the highest roll. Right over here you have what is called your Admiral card. You're basically going to be using this to put fighters into the game by launching them from your aircraft carrier. It also has the missile depot, and it just tells you what you do on your turn and the order as well. Right here you have 2 weapons. You have what are called your sidewinder missiles. You can arm your plane with one of these, and the sidewinder missiles will basically help you when you're dogfighting. And right here you have your harpoon missiles. You're also going to be able to arm your airplanes with these, and these are going to be used to shoot in the water, and you can destroy the carrier with this. You could also destroy other destroyers with this. You cannot shoot harpoons with this or airplanes. So now in the beginning of the game, everybody is going to go ahead and set up their pieces, and first player will set his carrier, then the second will do his, etc. And basically the way it works is you can set the carrier up anywhere. It just has to be surrounded by open water, so nothing can be next to it. With the destroyers, when you place them, you're going to place them 2 spaces away from the carrier. So the back of the destroyer at least has to be like this, and you can just set that 2 spaces away from the carrier. With the islands, you can pretty much set them up anywhere, so on your side of the board. And for the planes, I'll talk about how that works here in just a minute. Now, there are going to be 6 actions that are going to happen on your turn. The first one is moving all of your harpoon missiles. Now, you're not going to do this on your very first turn, so I'm going to show you how that works later. So the second thing you're going to do is you're going to scramble your fighters. Now, the way that works is you're going to pick any one of these 4 fighters. Let's just say I pick 4, and then you're going to pick which weapon you are going to load them with. So let's say I loaded this with a sidewinder missile, and you're going to put it face down. I'll go ahead and load 2 planes with the harpoons and 2 planes with the sidewinders. Okay, so now what I usually do is I just go ahead and put the planes here on the carrier like so, and I just basically will launch them from there. And so the way it works is you're going to roll all 4 of your dice like so, and then you're going to go ahead and move your airplanes. And you can basically move them anywhere you want so long as you're not flying over an island. And this number right here counts as 1 space. So I could go ahead and place 1 there to start. I could go 1, 2 for this one. And then I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for this one. This one fell. And then for this one, I could go ahead and do another 6. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Third thing you're going to do is you're going to move or fire the destroyers. Now the way it works is like if you want to move the destroyer, you can move them 2 spaces. So you can go like 1 and 2 and move them like that. Or you can fire a destroyer. So let's say there was an enemy plane over here. You could actually try to shoot the plane with the destroyer. What you would simply do is you would roll a die, and you have to have the die number be higher than the number of spaces he's away. So for this plane is 3 spaces away. I rolled a 3, that's not going to be enough. But if I roll, say, a 5, this would destroy this plane. Now the same works also for the torpedoes, and I'll talk about how those work in a little bit, but you can destroy a torpedo the same way. Say I went ahead and rolled a 1, that would not do it, but if I roll a 6, that would destroy the torpedo and knock that out of play. Okay, now the next thing that happens is your opponent is going to fire the destroyer. So if I had some planes over here, or torpedoes, or anything really, then my opponent could go ahead and shoot at me like so. The next thing that happens is you're going to dogfight. And here's the way dogfighting works. Let's say I have a plane over here, and he's loaded with one of the sidewinder missiles over here. And I'll just turn this face up. And let's just go ahead and say this plane ends up landing next to him. Now, anytime a plane lands next to a space where there is another plane, like so, they're going to have to go ahead and dogfight. So what happens is this plane is going to go ahead and reveal what he has, and he happens to have a harpoon. So now the way dogfighting works is both planes are going to look underneath their carrier to see what they have. This plane has 3, and this plane here has 3 also. So that basically means that each plane is going to be rolling 3 dice. So let's just go ahead and say I roll these 3, and then I roll these 3. So what ends up happening is that both sides are going to go ahead and compare their highest die. So this guy rolled a 6, and this one has a 2. So the higher number is going to win. Now, if you have a sidewinder missile, you have 2 choices. You can either add 1 to the die roll, which in this case it would be 3, or you could go ahead and re-roll the die. So let's just say I went ahead and used my missile and re-rolled and got a 2. I would be dead because he still rolled a higher number, so this plane would be out of play like so. Okay, and the last step is launching your harpoon missiles. Let's say that both of these planes had harpoon missiles. So the way you launch your harpoon missiles is you'll turn over the tokens that have the harpoon missiles and you'll roll 1 die for each. I rolled a 1 here, so what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and move my harpoon missile 1. Now, if there's a target that I can reach with the harpoon missile, it will destroy that target. Now, if it hits the carrier, what's going to happen is any planes that are on the carrier are going to be destroyed. And then that person is going to turn this card over to represent that the carrier has been hit like so. And so I'll end up rolling a die for this missile or this harpoon as well. So let's say I roll a 4. So I'll flip this off, and then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So now in the beginning of my next turn, any harpoons that I have out, I will be able to go ahead and move them again. So I would go ahead and roll, and then I'd roll this, move say 3 for this one, and then I would move this one 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. Another thing that can happen is you can actually reload your plane with one of these missiles or the harpoon. And what you can do is, let's say I wanted to go and scramble my fighters on that part of my turn. Again, I've got 4 fires on here. What I would end up doing is I would roll 1 less die for each plane that I wanted to bring back to the ship to reload. So what would happen is I would go ahead and roll, and let's just say I took this plane 1, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with this plane, and this plane I would go ahead and bring back here to the carrier, and I would go ahead and load it with whatever I wanted to. So let's just say I loaded it with a harpoon like so, and then on my next turn I will go ahead and be able to take this plane off of the boat and go back into the water again. You're going to basically be following all these steps, putting planes in, dogfighting, trying to shoot the carrier, trying to shoot everything essentially with whatever you can. And before I forgot, the carrier will be eliminated if you hit him with 2 torpedoes. And the winner of the game is going to be the person that can either destroy the carrier or destroy everything else but the carrier. So my thoughts on Mission Command C. Well, as I stated earlier, this is probably my favorite game in the series, and I think all 3 of them are good. But I really like this game a lot. With all the different ways that you can defend, and you have your planes that can fly, and the dogfighting, and the harpoons that you have to watch out for, and the movement that you can do with your destroyers and shooting things, there's a lot with this game. This game is a strategy game of sorts because you have to watch out for those harpoons. They can sneak up on you out of nowhere. You're basically attacking and defending at the same time. This game is not hard to learn. The instructions are maybe 5 pages long, and it's a really fun game. I mean, this game really makes you think. And I love the fact that you can reload your planes and bring them back to the ship and then get some more harpoons out there. And for something I may have forgotten to mention is that you have unlimited ammo in this game. You're never going to run out. As long as you can keep going back to the carrier, you can keep on loading up missiles and harpoons and just keep on going out and shooting out as many harpoons as you want. Or you can go ahead and just try to blow up your opponent's planes as well. Now, I've never played Carrier Strike. I have a couple of friends that have. My friend Matt from the Matt Wilkins channel, he did a review on it, and my friend Collector THX, he did a review on them. This one has the dice, and the other version has the cards. But this is the components on this game are really nice. The planes are really made of some good plastic. The islands look pretty nice. The carrier is pretty well made too. I really think Milton Bradley did a great job with the series of these games. I'm glad that they kind of decided to remake the games from the other ones. And the other ones are fun too. It's just kind of cool that they decided to do a theme with the Mission Command theme and make these games their own. So if you like battle games, I would definitely check out the Mission Command series. But out of all of them, I think this one is my favorite, just because there's a lot of different things you have to watch out for, and there's a lot of ways you can attack and defend your opponent, and there's just a lot that can happen in a turn. But anyway, guys, that is my review, and you guys take care. I will see you soon. Keep on gaming.